Hello everyone, welcome to today's edition. Sorry I haven't done many videos lately. Having trouble with my microphone on my trading computer. Can't get it to work. I've tried a couple different microphones. What happened was I got a new microphone and I have two microphones right now and neither one of them will work on that computer. I can't get it to work, so I don't know what's up. But anyway, um, had a few bad trades in the last couple weeks too. I kind of went back to basics. I think what happened was maybe I got a little bit over aggressive because had a few good weeks and I got into some trades that I probably shouldn't have. So I kind of went back to basics the other day. Anyway, this is my paper trade account. I made 4 trades today, 2 real money, 2 paper trade. This is my paper trade account because my real account's up on my other computer, and that's the one I can't get the microphone to work on. So, traded Boeing this morning. Boeing calls at 9:32, just after the open. If you look at the daily chart, I'm watching Boeing at the open because we had a bullish engulfing candle yesterday. Remember, this candle wouldn't have been here this morning. Bullish engulfing candle off of support, so I was watching for an entry on calls for Boeing. Baba was the same way, bullish engulfing, but I didn't catch that one. So if we go to the 1-minute chart and look, I got in at 9:32 in 44 seconds, so just before 9:43. Got in right here I was probably right about here when I got in, just after the open of this candle is when I got in. We came down and we touched this pivot point, and I only bought 2 calls because I didn't know if it might come down, maybe come down and test this 100 SMA. So I bought 2 calls and it popped, and I sold the first contract. I paid $1.07. I sold the first one at 9:36, not even 4 minutes later. So the open of this candle, 9:36 and 10 seconds. Right after the open of this candle, I sold for $1.42. No real reason other than the fact that number one, it was pre-market highs. You see right here, pre-market high was 364.95. Put a line there, about there. So 364.95 was pre-market highs. I sold one right about at that level, and I sold this second one at 9:37, almost 9:38. So right towards the close of this candle, I sold this one for $1.64. The high was actually, I was pretty close to hitting the high on that one. The high on it was $1.73. I sold at $1.64, so I was pretty close to the high here. I think this candle was actually where it hit $1.73. But yeah, I sold this one because we got real close to the pre-market highs here. So I sold the first contract, sold the second one up here. Worked out, it was 42.99% on that one. Paid $1.07, sold the first one $1.42, second one $1.64. So what's that? $1.53 was my average exit with $1.07 entry. Works out to just under 43%. Happy with that. Wish I had more contracts, but happy with the trade. Also traded ROKU. Go to the 3-minute chart, which is what I traded off of. And I don't have all the indicators up on this one because I was trading off my trading computer, and this one is the paper trade account, so it's not exactly the same as my trading computer. So there might be a few levels here that are missing. 9:47, I bought calls, which was we had a bullish engulfing candle here. Not off a lot of support. We had a 200 SMA right here. We came down close to it, but when you have a bullish engulfing candle following a pretty big red candle, it's usually a pretty good sign it's going to bounce, and we broke above this 100 simple moving average line. So I entered at 9:47, which is just before the close of this candle. Yeah, it was a red candle, but I only bought 1 contract with the intentions of adding if it pulled back, because I kind of thought it might pull back, but I wanted to be in it at least just to catch it if it didn't pull back. It pulled back slightly, but I didn't add. It didn't really give me a chance to add because you don't want to add on this candle because there's nothing telling you that it's going to reverse. This candle showed a little bit of reversal potential, but nothing that really stood out. This candle here is the one where it really popped. So I didn't really get a chance to add, but I sold this one at 9:56. So it was 9 minutes later, almost to close this candle, and I sold this because we were hitting pre-market highs. Right around here is where I sold it at, right about pre-market highs. Paid $1.29, sold it for $1.47. I think it was like 12%. 147 minus 129 divided by 129. 13, almost 14%. So I made about 14% on that one. Made two paper trades, Nvidia and Roku. Roku I bought at 11.22. Let's see. So it was actually a second trade on Roku, but this one was paper trade. 11.22 I bought it based off of this. It was based off of the 921 EMA cross, but I wanted it to pull back closer to the cloud, so I got in right about here, 11.22, right after the open of this candle. I paid $1.58. I sold one at 11.32, so just over an hour, or just over 10 minutes later, for $1.75. 11.32. Right before the close of this candle, because we came up to a pivot point here. We got up to a pivot point, so I sold one contract, and I sold the other the second contract at 12.06. We got up here right at the open of this candle. We just started to pop above this pivot point. After a big candle like this, I didn't think that we would pop too high. I kind of thought we'd pull back a little bit and either pull back slightly and then pop way higher, or just pull back and consolidate. So I sold the second one there, which was a smart move. And the third one I sold at 12.24, and that was based on a close below the cloud. Close below the 21 EMA was my exit. And I actually set that order in. It was already set, and it sold automatically when the candle closed, which is why it shows 12:24:03. It was only 3 seconds after the candle started. Sold that one for $1.58, which is what I paid for it. So if you calculate that out, paid $158. I sold for $175. 181, 175, 181, and 158. So my average exit was 171. Paid 158 divided by 158. Only 8.5%. Could have did a lot better on this last contract here, but I wanted to try to ride the cloud. I was in a trade, I think it was yesterday. I believe it was Boeing. It was Boeing yesterday. Let's take a look at the Boeing chart real quick for yesterday. Yeah, Boeing yesterday. I entered right after this 921 cross, and I sold, I think, right at about the close of this candle. And look where it went. This went up. I could have made like 300% if I would have just held that last contract and rode the cloud. And when I say ride the cloud, I sell when the candle closes below this 21 EMA. Right here, it didn't quite close below it. If you look, I'll zoom in. If you look, it didn't quite close below it. So that I still would have been in at that point. I wouldn't have got out until right here. The open of this candle would have been my exit. And you see how much higher it was. at 359.37 and I exited at 356.40, so $3 difference. So I thought, I'm going to try riding this cloud thing and see what it does. Today it didn't really work out. ROKU ended up stopping me out at break even on that last contract. It was a paper trade, but that's what paper trade accounts are for, to try these new things. It didn't bite me because I broke even on that last contract, on the last sell, but I could have sold it for quite a bit more. You see, I sold the one at $1.81. Yeah, I left $23 on the table there. Not huge, but still. I also traded NVIDIA, paper trade. Whoops, that's NBEV. That's a lousy chart. NVIDIA, paper traded this one. Entered this one at $12.04 for $1.65, 3 contracts. I don't normally buy during lunch, but $12.04, we had a bullish engulfing here right off of Fibonacci line. We had a Fibonacci retracement here. So I bought bullish engulfing off of Fibonacci. Entered it, what did I say, $1.65. Sold the first one at $12.23 for $1.78. $12.23, which was right before the close of this candle. Yeah, $12.23. Sold that one for $1. And I actually had this sell order in as soon as I bought it. I put that sell order in just to unload one contract because I didn't like it being lunchtime and whatnot. And then my last two, I ended up getting out at $1.63, which was just barely below my entry at $12.30. So at $12.30, I sold right here. We closed below the 21 EMA, so I sold at the open of this candle. Barely took a loss on the last two contracts, but in the end, you see it was still a profit. $9 profit right here on NVIDIA, $40 on ROKU. Not fantastic numbers, but it's a paper trade account. But my real money account, the two trades I made with ROKU and Boeing, ended up $92 on Boeing and $18 on ROKU, $110 day. Not going to complain about that. Like I said, I've been getting a little bit, I think, kind of sloppy with my entries, and a little bit sloppy with my entries, and I had a few bad trades, so I'm trying to go back to basics and get away from that. I've done that a few times. I have a few good days, and then I do something sloppy, just get overconfident or whatever it is. But I'm working on reducing my average loss, so it's not quite as high. I've been calculating these 9 and 21 EMA crosses, and my average win is right around 20%. My average loss is about 28%. Now I have a lot more wins than losses, and in the end I'm up. But when it's all said and done, I'm in the positive. I'm in the green. But I'm trying to get the wins a little bit higher and the losses a little bit lower, percentage-wise. Try to even that out a little bit. But I was hesitant about trading today because we opened with a pretty big gap up, and I know I've mentioned it before in other videos. When we open with a large gap up, a lot of times you'll have something like this, a big pop up, sell off, and then you'll chop the rest of the day, or we'll have a sell off the open, then a pop up, and then chop the rest of the day, which is kind of what we have here. I mean, yeah, you had a little bit of run here. Let's check SPY. Yeah, kind of not really chop, but it's kind of not a lot of movement. Very slowly went up, and it's slowly back down. I wouldn't call it chop, but it's not great trading after, after this move here. There wasn't really anything worth getting in. So yeah, anytime we have a big gap up, I see that a lot. So I wasn't sure if I would even trade today, which is one of the reasons why I took the trade earlier like I did with Boeing. I don't usually get in that soon, but based on the daily chart with the bullish engulfing candle, based on the fact that it also didn't really sell off, it was holding its levels of pre-market. We had a big gap up here, a little bit of sell-off here, but we didn't have one of these sell-offs like this. It kind of held, which I kind of thought we might pop pretty early at the open. We came down and touched this pivot point, and that's about when I got in. So not saying it was 100% skill, not saying it was 100% luck. I did just happen to catch it just right. Part of it's a little bit of experience, and part of it was it just worked in my favor. But yeah, that's about it for today. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be doing any trading tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'll get a video done tomorrow or not, but I'm going to try to get back into doing some more videos. Try to get this microphone issue figured out. It's not an issue with the recording software, it's the operating system. It's not recognizing the microphone. It's not just the recording software, it's not recognizing it. Just Microsoft Windows is not recognizing it, either one of my microphones. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know if the port went bad. I don't know what's going on with it. So I think there's a microphone port in the back of the computer, which is going to suck because I don't know how the wires on my microphone on my headset aren't that long. I don't know if it'll reach from the back. I haven't plugged in the ones on the front, but I'll have to play around with that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow, and hopefully get back into doing some more videos and having some better content. Like I said, it wasn't great content here today. Point out to you that my entry here, the reasons I entered, it was kind of holding the highs here, bounced off the pivot. I sold here because it was getting close to pre-market highs. The first one, pre-market highs, I sold here. The second one, I sold up here. I can't find it, but I had 366.12 was showing as a resistance point, and I'm not finding that now on my chart. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it's not showing. Whatever line I had there is gone now, but I had a line at 366.12, so I figured I'd try to sell right around the 366 level, which is what I did here. I ended up getting out. Even on my trading computer, that line's not there now, so I don't know where it went. I'm not even sure what it was now. Weird, but anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully get some videos for you next week too. Thanks. Bye.